How do I satisfy three men? Hi, my name is Carrie Lane, and this is just one of the questions that I'm going to be answering, as I have two husbands and a boyfriend, three partners in total. So my videos and photos have been going viral, and this is a continuation to explain or answer some of the questions that you guys have been asking under those videos. So as a recap, I have three partners. I have my husband Brett, who I've been with 8 years. I have my husband Jake, who I've been with for 4 years. And I have my boyfriend Aaron, who I've been with for 3 years. Now, one of the first biggest questions that I get is, how do I manage to have the time? How does the schedule work? So that's actually very easy. I am a photographer. I am self-employed, so I make my own schedule. Also, the boys all have different work schedules and they don't overlap. So it conveniently works out that way. So whenever one is off, that's when I'm spending time with them. So their schedules are actually a great reason why this relationship even works. Next question is, what are the sleeping arrangements and how does intimacy work? So each of the boys has their own bedroom. So we live in a 3-bedroom house, and I live with Brett and Jake. Aaron has his own apartment. And so Brett has his own bedroom, Jake has his own bedroom, and then for that third room, I essentially asked myself what I wanted to have the most, which was a personal space. And being a photographer and into all things beauty, I wanted my own, essentially, a dream dressing room, and that's what I have. So how that works is sleeping schedule wise, depending on who's working. So if Brett is working, I'm not sleeping with him that night, I'm sleeping with the one who isn't. So Jake is off, I'm in Jake's bedroom. Brett is off, I'm in Brett's bedroom. That's how that works.
Now, I'm not here to judge, but I have to be honest and say we have 4 lost souls here. 3 men who have totally emasculated themselves, and 1 woman who is a true Jezebel. I have to be honest. This is a demonic way to live. I can't believe anything that I'm hearing right now. Look, man, this is the world that we're living in. I get it. I understand it. We are in a very, very new place in life. But that doesn't mean that is right. That doesn't make it okay. This is very dangerous. I respect people's freedom. This is the world that God allowed us to be in and be free to do whatever we want to do. But I'm not going to sit back here and listen to 3 men who are in a situation like this and say, you know what? Hey, go on, girl, do your thing. Hey, man. Hey, much respect, brother. Much respect. Keep it pushing, man. If that's how you want to live, that's how you want to live. Absolutely not. No, this is wrong. And I need all the kids out there that are listening, all the teenagers, all the Generation Zs and all of them to know this is no way to live. This is absolutely wrong. And I'm going to call it out. There's a lot of people who are seeing things like this and saying, hey, you know what? Hey, go on, girl, do your thing. And if that's how they want to live, that's how they want to live. Yeah, that's how they want to live. It doesn't make it okay. And to me, it's wrong when people do not call it out. But let's hear what else. Man, I'm ready to hear what else you have to say. But let's hear what else you have to say.
I'm sleep over, or I will stay in his apartment, and that's how that whole thing works out. Intimacy. So it is 3 separate relationships. The boys are not with each other. They are 3 best friends who happen to fall in love with the same girl. So they're just besties. They're all straight. They just share me. And so when it comes to intimacy, it is completely separate. They are not with each other, and we respect that space. Now to the question in the beginning of the video, which is, how do I satisfy 3 men? And honestly, the answer is very easy. They all have different needs. Contrary to popular belief, being with a partner, any partner, doesn't necessarily mean you're always jumping each other's bones, right? Everyone has different levels of need and everyone has different schedules. They are very career oriented. So, they're focusing on their jobs and whatnot, and I am their safe space. I am where they land. You know what I mean? So that's really all I can say about that. The intimacy is separate. They all have different levels of need, which I happen to be able to fulfill. So that's how that goes. Another question I got was, how do the finances work? So, Brett and Jake, because we live under the same house, they cover most of the bills, right? That is their choice. I do all the play money. I do all the vacations, I do all the fun stuff, the clothes, any other need or want that they have. Essentially, my job is just to pamper them because they pamper me. And so Aaron also has children, so I also have, I'm the one who takes care of the toys and all the fun stuff, anniversaries, birthdays. I'm really good with those stuff, and I make sure that everyone feels loved, appreciated, and heard. That's all part of it. Here's another good question. Do the boys ever get jealous? So, simple answer, no. And that's because jealousy is wanting what you don't have. And they all have me. Fully, they have my heart, they have my emotions, they have my attention, they have anything that they could possibly want, they get from me. And should they need anything else, they always communicate with me, because that's a big deal. You can't have polyamory without proper, open communication and trust. So that's super important to expand on the whole jealousy thing, because it is a bigger essentially conversation. Because so in order for my boys to be who they are, right, they have to be incredibly emotionally aware, they have to be socially aware, they have to be very big on prioritizing mental health, which they all are. And so one of the biggest things is that, again, the communication. If anyone is feeling like they're getting less time or whatnot, they will communicate that to me, and we will work on that. And another thing is, because quite frankly it was hard for me to understand it at first too, but the way my husband explained it was, I just want you to be happy. I get emotional every time I talk about this. He told me, he goes, I just want you to be happy. He goes, I'm never going to be upset that you are happy. And that's why there's no jealousy in it for him. I also want to add in here that Brett has autism. He's on the spectrum. Aaron also has autism and is on the spectrum. And Jake has ADHD. So in their neurodivergent minds, they see the world differently, sometimes in ways that I have a hard time seeing. But it's a beautiful thing because they help me see the world differently. And I love that. But from their own words, their own lips, and eventually I will make a video with them and they can talk and explain it, but they just don't see a reason to be jealous, because it's all about us getting our needs met and being happy, and that is what's happening, so everyone wins. So another
Please like, comment, and subscribe to the video. I'm on a mission to lead others to Christ, and if you believe in that movement, I would appreciate it if you join this journey with me. So we got a couple of things to unpack right now. First, you notice she calls them boys. True feminism at its peak, and they all have disabilities. The things this world say about men have nothing against what's going on here. A woman who seems totally aware and normal, taking advantage of three men who have mental disabilities, and no one is saying nothing. But let it be a man who is with a woman he's 10 years older than. Oh my God, the world is over. This is female privilege on a whole nother level. And then there's kids involved. That's the thing that just tripped me out, hearing about the kids. So kids is seeing this. And I wonder, like, I gotta see other videos. Is other people saying stuff about this? Like, this is reckless. Very reckless. Kids have to grow up and see this. There are fathers who have autism. Everyone have a disability in a household except for her. And she feel it's okay. And I bet you as women out there, go on, girl, do your thing, girl. Go on, girl, do your thing. It ain't nothing wrong with it. But let a man be just asking a woman, can she cook something tonight? You are misogynistic. You are a misogynist. I'm just saying. Like, what's going on right here? Straight bias. Let this be a man on here. I got four, different girls. One have autism. The other one, she's bipolar, and then the other one, have a she's you know, she only have one leg, and you know, I have to, you know, take care of her. You know, she in fact sometimes she don't even speak. She just speaks sometimes. You know, man, that dude will be getting burnt alive online. I'm just saying, man.